What's up, Chicago? You in the house with your boy Mike Hoover, Everything Chicago. Welcome back to another episode of Everything Chicago. So look, I got a special guest here with me tonight. I got my boy Prince in here, and we're going to be talking about some of the misconceptions of what's going on in the black communities and some of the misconceptions of who we are and some of the misconceptions of the chosen people. So without any further ado, I got Prince. What's up, Prince?
What's up, good brother?
Man, so glad to have you in the house, man. Thanks for being here, man, so we can talk about some of these topics in here. So come on, let's elaborate a little bit on these topics, man. You were talking about we are the chosen people. We are the chosen ones. What do you mean by that?
Yes, sir. Well, first off, I do want to just, again, thank you for having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you.
As I do speak, I don't mean to come from a confrontational standpoint or, this isn't to offend anybody or to attack anybody or to attack anybody's beliefs or their conception of reality. But my main purpose in life that I found was that once you know the truth, it's your job in the universe to share the truth and to spread the truth.
Absolutely.
And me just coming from the environments that we're conditioned to grow up in and the conditions that they put us in, I started to understand late, but it's still early, why we are the way we are, why we think the way we think, and as a people, why don't we understand who we truly are?
Yeah, that's what we need to know. I mean, I see that, in our society, we've been bamboozled, we've been strayed away, we've lost everything, man. We lost our language, our religion, our culture. We don't really know who we are anymore, man. I mean, we don't really have something to recognize. What is a Black American? What are we known for as being Black American? What the locks, earring in the ear,
the nappy hair,
the saggy pants,
loud voices.
I mean, what is it? What is
anger? Just things like that. And that's why I say that my main purpose is to, as much as I can, as I was taught when I was growing up, each one teach one. And so whenever you reach out to someone, as much as you can, you give them the information. And a lot of times, a famous slogan that I know of that a lot of people use is, you just do the dishes with the basement. And so, a lot of people, they look at us as this specific group of people. They have all of these stereotypes, all of these judgments against us, in which it kind of mentally conditions us to behave in a certain way. It's almost like it's our zodiac sign.
Absolutely.
A lot of people, they read their zodiac and they say, this is the way I'm supposed to be. This is how my month is going to be.
Oh, wow.
And so the more you hear different people tell you in a negative spotlight who you are,
eventually,
the more you feed into it. It becomes food for the mind. And a lot of times food is poison.
Yes. If you hear it enough, you'll start believing it after a while.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You a duck. If you say it to a person enough, you'll hear them start quacking after a while.
Yes, sir.
So I understand. So man, I find that living in this community, in this society of the black community, in the black society, I find that the stereotype that has been put upon us is like we can't get out of it, man. Is there a way out of this, Prince? Is there a way out of this? How do we cope with the stereotypes that are given to us on a daily basis? Like right now, Donald Trump is in the office right now, and I'm not trying to get political right now. That's not what I'm trying to do. But Donald Trump is in the office right now, and it seems like we're going back to, black and white. I mean, at first I didn't see it. Now that Donald Trump is, it's open up. It's open. You can see it's clear that racism still exists.
Right.
Go ahead, Prince.
First off, I don't want to get political neither, and I don't mean to sound like how a lot of people look at specific people within our culture, within our race, whenever they say these type of things. But in my opinion, us going back to the way Trump is trying to get it to is who we used to be as a people anyway. If you think back to Black Wall Street, that was us. They had Wall Street, we had Black Wall Street. They bombed it. And then even after that, in the time that you grew up in, which is the 90s and things like that, if you remember, we had our own communities. Our music industry was just us. We ran our record labels. We ran our movies.
It was awesome.
If you think about Spike Lee, all his movies. If you think about I forgot the director of a lot of Michael Jackson's
Thriller videos.
I forgot the director's name.
But I'm familiar with it. I know you're talking about.
Him, like a lot of our movies was created by us. We used to watch a lot of stuff on BET. That was ran and owned and operated by us.
By black Americans.
We had FUBU. Just so many different clothing brands.
So what do you think? What do you think is happening? What do you think is happening?
What I think is happening is, as Trump said when he first got in the office, we're gonna go back to the Bible, and in my opinion, that's where a lot of people strayed away from over time. You feel like as long as you hear someone tells you what's in the Bible or what's in the book, you don't really have to read it. And so, to my understanding, when he says we're gonna go back to that, we have to then start at the beginning of the Bible and read and find out who we are within that Bible. And I think that's where a lot of our people go wrong at, is that they don't understand that we're spoke about so many times in the Bible in a positive light. And so when we're only told that our history starts at the transatlantic slave trade, we're just accustomed to just believing that we were only born and we were only put here to suffer, to be enslaved,
to serve,
to be oppressed. Yes, sir.
Right.
And so I think in many ways, when we seeing things on the news or we're seeing things out there in the world happening, we like to play victim. We like to say, oh, it's done to attack us. It's done to, but in actuality, if we really look at it from the silver lining of the cloud, we'll see that these things are unfolding for us to go back to who we were as a people. But yeah, so a lot of us, if you look on Facebook or whatever like that, if you look at people's tattoos and things like that, they get Egyptian hieroglyphs, they get Egyptian symbols, and we only believe that we were kings and queens, but in fact, if you look in the Bible, it specifically tells us who we were. Even outside of that, I'm not saying everybody's not Egyptian. I'm not saying people don't know their history or their lineage, but most of us were spoke about within that Bible as being a holy people, as being a priesthood, as being a chosen race that God himself freed out of slavery. And because we wouldn't listen, the same thing what we see today when we're seeing the young brothers or the young sisters today, the way they're carrying on, not turning their face to the Bible. That's the same thing that led us back into Egypt, which is the land of slavery. And I'm not saying we're directly in Egypt, but in paraphrasing it, we're there. We're still in slavery.
That's really interesting.
One thing that I've learned was the best way to still enslave someone is to make them think they're free.
Mentally mess their head up, and they're still in slavery. They just switched it up on us a little bit.
Yes, sir.
They took the hard labor and then just took our minds away.
Yes, sir.
And left us in leftovers.
Exactly.
Everybody leftovers. I was just telling my students the other day, I was like, believe it or not, this school that you're in right now, it was all white students, all white staff, all white teachers. Everybody in here was all white. They were like, what? I said, yeah, white children used to walk in this school. They couldn't. They was like, well, what do you think happened, Mr. Why did they move out? So I was frank with them. I said, well, they really believe that when a black person moves in their communities, their property taxes go down. So they try to get away real quick before they lose the value of their homes.
Yes, sir.
And they couldn't believe that. They were shocked. So that's what we're dealing with today, in society. So Prince, let me ask you this. What do you think you can do? I mean, what are you doing for the children and adults to wake them up, to give them awareness of what's going on in society today?
Well, first off, just starting off at the youth, what I try to do for them as much as possible is be that older brother, be that older sibling that I know a lot of us don't have. Me growing up, I was a diehard basketball player. Everything I did was around basketball. I grew up in Harvey, Illinois, in which that was, I grew up in the roughest part of Harvey, Illinois. And fortunately, the gangbangers, the drug dealers, and things like that, they appreciated my play. They appreciated me being an athlete, so they looked out for me within the neighborhood. I didn't have to go through too much that a lot of other people had to go through. And I believe that with me not having my father around, with me not having a proper father figure or a proper person to look up to, those gentlemen, in many ways, they kept me from turning out to be the way other people around me were being. And so I look at that and tell myself, well, if I'm not a gangbanger, if I'm not a drug dealer, if I'm not out here, doing the negative things, why can't I be that same person to the younger people, but show them it doesn't have to be a drug dealer, it doesn't have to be a gangbanger, it don't have to be someone that statistically they tell you have to be, who you see on TV when you look up and you see Power, or you see Empire, or whatever the shows may be. You look up and say, okay, that's who we have to be in the neighborhood, that's who I have to look up to. And so for me, like I said, I grew up in a rough neighborhood. I'm not saying that I was an angel. I did things out of anger and out of just not understanding who I am. And the same thing that what I'm trying to do for the younger generation, it's all motivation of what I wish I knew. Absolutely. And so now I'm a business owner of a contracting business. I'm a CDL over-the-road truck driver. And things to that nature. So I get to show the youth it's more that you can be. People see my appearance a lot. They see the locks, as we spoke about earlier. They see a young black man. They see locks. They see tattoos that I got old, and they automatically judge you. They automatically put you in a category. But I'm showing the young people, even when I open my mouth, you hear the Holy Spirit coming out of me. You hear the word coming out of me. And so if they can look up and see, wow, I thought this person was totally different, but he's this type of person, and you see that you can be this business owner, you can be, whatever you want to be. Absolutely. You then it sticks with them. I have young people that's at gas stations, look like their family don't love them. They ask me for money. I give them a few dollars, but then I also tell them how they can go out and earn their own money them at the same legal way. Absolutely. Yes, sir. With the adults, my main thing is I just try to relate to them in the same conditions I grew up with them in, and just helping them understand where my change came from.
Those usually make the best mentors, people that go through the struggle and realize when they get older, wow, I went through a struggle. I do not want to see nobody else go through this.
Yes, sir.
Hold up, don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Don't forget to follow, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. And you're in the house with your boy Mike Hoover, Everything Chicago. And don't forget, I got my boy Prince in the house. And we're gonna wrap it up, man, because I got a couple more questions for my boy Prince, and you guys just stay tuned. So Prince, let me ask you a question though.
Yes, sir.
Well, are you finished with what you were talking about though? You want to finish that up? The topic, what you were just discussing.
Just the main thing that
for the adults.
For the adults, just the main thing is just if you get back into, like I said, if you get back into the Bible, which is the truth of life, the source of life, you will see that God, He is a wonderful counselor. Absolutely. Of His people. In which, if you all just keep following me on my journey, I educate more and more on how many times were we described as His people, just starting with King David, even King Solomon, things of that nature. They're being described as, ruddy people with reddish brown skin. Right. And even if you look at the state of Colorado means literally red mountains. And if you look at mountains, they're not red, they're brown, which is what we are. We're reddish brown. We're not black. We're not Negroes. We're not, we're not anything that they tell us we are. We are exactly what the Bible say. And if we identify and look the same way that King David and King Solomon looked, And if you also look at the Bible, when it's described that someone who appeared like the Son of Man had jasper skin, which is brown, he had bronze skin, which is the exact same color as our skin is, with woolly hair, just like a sheep. If you look at anybody's hair in the world, is our hair that looks just like a sheep's hair. So just understanding that we are his people, you have no choice but to look like your father. Adam was made from the dust of the ground. Dust is brown, dirt is brown, dirt is blackish brown. So we are his people. We were made in his image to be a holy people and to be a light to the world. And so that's just to finish that up.
Jeez, man, that was awesome.
Yes, sir.
Man. That was good knowledge, man. Let me ask you something, Prince.
Yes, sir.
What's misunderstood about you?
What's misunderstood about me, a lot of times, because I don't fit the mold of what bigwig America or what Western Europeans want us to be as a people. I'm either categorized as in a religious belief such as a Muslim, or the today's belief, which is the Black Hebrew Israelites that you see on YouTube, and things to that nature. Or a lot of times I come off as someone who's not getting along well with society, just because of the fact I know who I am.
Just
I know
aware.
who we are.
You're aware. When you're
Yes,
aware,
sir.
when you're aware, you just have a different light on you, man. A different
Yes,
glow.
sir.
I think that's what gravitated me to you, to ask you to come to my show. I was like, there's something about this brother. I could feel it, I knew it was something, and here it is, You into helping youth and adults. That's awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
Prince, we're going to get ready to close it out, man. I ain't going to keep you too long. I don't keep my guests that long.
Oh,
man.
no, it's all good.
I want
It's all good,
to,
brother.
how could people get in contact with you? What are some of the ways they can get in contact with you?
So if you follow my TikTok is under the name Israel. So it's just like Israel, but instead you just separate the IS. So now it's Israel. Just letting everybody know that God is real, that we are real, and his word is real. Same thing on YouTube. Just started my YouTube up. So, if you type in that is-real, you will find me there. Hopefully we can get that put within the video. So hopefully we can get the YouTube and the TikTok title and name registry put into the video, just so that they'll know, they'll have it. They don't mishear it. They can see it word for word, how it's spelled. Come on over, learn a little bit, see who we are as a people and not who they want us to be as a people. Our history did not start at the transatlantic slave trade. Our history started way before that. We are the people of old. And so with that being said, we have to turn back to who we were, not be afraid of changes. I know it's uncomfortable. We live a lifestyle of having fine luxury linen. We live a lifestyle of having, European cars. We live a lifestyle of having so much different stuff that, we're scared of being humble. We're scared of living a simple life. People would rather skyrise downtown over having a house and a farm with their own natural resources.
Yes.
So, it's no fear with losing Walmart, losing jewels, and becoming our own resource and our own producers.
Man, it was a pleasure, man. This was a pleasure, Prince, man. This is what I like on my show. I told y'all I'm going to keep bringing it real to you guys, man. Nothing but knowledge in here. Nothing but knowledge. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. So, I have my boy Prince in the house with me, and it was such a pleasure to have this knowledge, man. So each one got to teach one, like my brother just said, man. We got to have that knowledge. We have to have it, man. If we don't, we're going to lose it, man, as a race, as a community, as a society. So, again, Prince, you have anything else to say you want to tell the audience?
Just one last thing. I hope that this does stick with everybody. Just quoting just two really quick verses, if I could. Hosea 11:1. When Israel was a child, I loved him, and out of Egypt, I called my son. And the more I called my son, they went further from me. So we have to turn back to God, because literally, we see that he put so many plagues in Egypt to free his people, and we are those people. He told us he'll never abandon us. He told us he alone saves us, and he alone will guide us back. So just keep that in mind, and just love yourself, be accountable for self, because nobody else can pay for your debt but you.
Absolutely, man. And I don't have anything else to say following that, because he just gave it to you in a raw. So, man, thanks for joining us tonight on Everything Chicago, and you have a blessed week.
Shalom, shalom.
Great. Peace, and I'm out.